this is April, also known as Grandmama. This is Grandmama, also known as April. Uh, Today I want to talk to you about slaves, and I'm going to start off with me. Okay, at one point in my life, I dated a police officer, which I was going against my better judgment because I try not to. I had said I wouldn't date a cop or a fire person or person that work a lot of long hours. Anyway, I was dating this cop, and I think we had been dating maybe about 2 weeks or so, maybe a month. I don't really remember because it's been a long time ago. Anyway, I found myself at his house. Okay, so I had spent the night with him, and when it was time for me to go, um, I he wouldn't let me leave, and he said, if you break a window, if you do any screaming, it's gonna not be well for you. It's don't beat on a window, don't do any screaming. But I was literally locked in the house, literally locked in the house by a cop. So of course I was terrified. So every time he came home, I just begged and pleaded with him to let me go. Of course he didn't. So I finally started saying, my mother is looking for me. That's all I kept saying. My mom is looking for me. My mom is looking for me. So then he finally, I don't even know, it was so traumatic. I don't know how long I stayed there. I might have stayed there about a week. But anyway, he ended up letting me go. Okay, so there was another time that I was dating a guy, and God told me this was during the time that he wanted me to be celibate. So he said, I need you to stop dating. I said, okay, well, I'll break up with this guy that I'm with. And I broke up with the guy, and everything appeared to be fine. But within the next 2 or 3 days, I noticed he started stalking me. I'm like, okay. At first I thought it was a coincidence. So on the third time, I knew that he literally was stalking me. So at that point, I was like, okay, God. So you see what's going on. Now I broke up with this guy, and now he's stalking me. So I need you to do something because I'm trying to be obedient. So after about 2 weeks or so, I noticed I stopped seeing the guy. So God, and I didn't ever see him again. So now I want to talk about wives or spouses that are spouses or slaves, unbeknownst to them, with benefits. You remember back in slavery days when they had those house employees that looked like me? Anyway, I was just thinking, well, what's the difference between them and one of those house slaves? They getting the same because 9 times out of 10, the slave owner was physically involved with them sexually. So I'm like, what's, and then of course they had to take care of the kids. They had to empty commode. They had to, just do a lot of things like wash dirty drawers and all that sort of stuff. Skid marks and cook and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, I'm like, man, that sounds like a slave with benefits. So I was thinking, because God delivered me from out of these situations, because a lot of women, unfortunately, I guess they didn't know that the guy was crazy and they ended up losing their lives. Okay, so how do you escape and not lose your life? Number one, don't tell him you're leaving. Don't tell him. Just keep it in your mind. And cry out out to God. Literally, boo hoo, weep, weep, saying, you want to get out of this situation. Weep before God and then wait on Him for the solution. Don't go in front of Him starting to pack your bags. No. Nope. Have a clean getaway where, I mean, God is an OG. I'm not saying He's going to take it that far, but somebody might have to swim with the fish. I'm just saying. The goal is to get you and your children, if you have children, away safely. That's how I did it. I called on the only one that could rescue me. I wasn't gonna call no cops, and I don't even think I had a phone no, I didn't have a phone when, cause cell phones weren't really out. I'm that old. Anyway, I didn't have a cell phone. I'm 64, so I have a lot of, uh, well, of course I've been raped a few times, but I've really had a hard life. Anyway, so back to you getting a clean getaway. You gonna have to just cry out to God. Go ahead and keep going through the motions. Let Him be clueless about you leaving. Clueless about the divorce. Clueless, clueless, clueless. Just act like everything's fine. If you've been fussing, just keep fussing a little. Don't give him any indication that you're planning on leaving. Let everything be the same. But in the meantime, when he's gone, probably cheating, go in the bedroom, put on some loud music, and weep. So your kids, try not to let them hear you. Weep. Call on God. Jesus is the Savior of the world. Okay? He can save your soul and He can save your body and your children's body. Okay? So this is Grandmama. I want you to live a long, productive life. And I'm thankful that a lot of women are waking up from the madness. They're waking up from being slaves with benefits. Okay? All right. Peace unto you and your family.